Olá, tudo bem? Estás bom? Estás boa? Today I want to walk you through word stress in Portuguese. I know it's a very interesting topic, but you know what? Word stress is very important for your pronunciation, not least in Portuguese specifically, because Portuguese has a quite marked word stress. And so if you get it wrong, your pronunciation will suffer. And you don't want that, do you? No. Of course, pronunciation goes beyond word stress. There are the consonant sounds, vowel sounds. Within the vowel sounds, we have all those nasal sounds. There is connected speech. If you want to dive deeper into the Portuguese sound system, take a look at Portuguese sounds. It is my comprehensive course on European Portuguese pronunciation. I will leave a link in the description below. Before we begin, I am Pedro. Pedro. My name is Pedro. Drew. And if you are new to this channel, welcome. I'm here to help you with your Portuguese. Now, shall we start? Let's do it. I will break it down into two sections. The first section is about words with no accent marks. You know, accent marks, the acute accent mark, the tilde, the circumflex. So words with no accent marks first. By default, these words are stressed on the next to last syllable. So next to last is just the syllable before the last. For example, casa, escadas. Can you hear the word stress clearly? Casa, escadas. Let's count the syllables. Escadas. 3 syllables. Word stress. Escadas. Janela. Casaco. Cunhado. So, word stress next to last syllable. And casa, house, escadas, stairs, janela, window, casaco, jacket, cunhado, brother-in-law. Now, there are a few cases where the word stress will fall on the last syllable. These are words ending in either R, L, or Z. For example, nadar, caracol, estupidez. Nadar. You see the word stress in the last syllable? Nadar. It's not nadar. It's nadar. And, you know, all verbs in their infinitive form, they end with the R. So all those words, falar, comer, partir, they will be stressed on the last syllable. Same thing again with words ending with the L, caracol, and with Z. In this case, estupidez. So in English, the meanings nadar, swim, caracol, snail. Estupidez is a cognate. Stupidity. There's some stupidity in the world. We know that. Next, we have words ending in I or U. Okay? I will explain all the others here. So I and U in Portuguese, they always render the sounds E and U, respectively. So E, U. So words ending with these sounds, either E or U, or even if there's the sh at the end. So it can be E, ish, U, ush. And that's why we have IS, IZ. As you may know, the S and Z at the end will produce this sh sound, and therefore E, ish, ish, U, ush, ush. Any word with any of these endings will be stressed on the last syllable. Ali, feliz, Peru, Jesus. You see? Or can you hear? Last syllable, the stress. Ali, feliz, Peru, Jesus. Now, meanings, ali, it's the opposite of aqui, so it's there. Feliz is kind of happy. Peru, Turkey, could be the country as well. And Jesus, Jesus. The third case is words ending in diphthongs. Diphthongs, in case you don't know or you forgot, are gliding vowel sounds. So from one vowel sound, we will glide into the next one. Think of the name Jane, for example. Can you hear the Jane, A? So from A into E, A. In Portuguese, as in English, there are a lot of diphthongs. For instance, teu, alegria, samurai. We have diphthongs here. The endings, they are diphthongs, and so the word stress will be on that syllable. Ateu, atheists, alegria, joy, happiness, and samurai is a cognate as well. Now, there are diphthongs and diphthongs, namely there are rising diphthongs and falling diphthongs, and I don't want to go into that rabbit hole. But this one, for example, ia, is a rising diphthong. Concerning rising diphthongs, there are people that will say that actually we have two syllables here, not just gria, but alegria. Then the word stress would fall on the next to last syllable, alegria. To simplify, let's assume that all diphthongs will comprise one syllable only, and then alegria will have three syllables, alegria. And gria, the syllable where the diphthong is the one being stressed. Simple. To recap, words with no accent marks, by default, they will be stressed on the next to last syllable, and then we have these cases where the stress will be on the last syllable. Words ending in R, L, or Z, words ending with the sounds e, u, or ish, ush, or words ending in diphthongs. Let's move on to words with accent marks. Words with a pronunciation that goes against with what we just said, the stress patterns we just talked about, will have an accent mark indicating the stressed syllable. We will understand better what this means. But to start with, words with accent marks will be stressed on that syllable where the accent mark is. Also, for words with accent marks, there are three possibilities when it comes to word stress. They can be stressed on the third to last syllable, on the next to last syllable, or on the last syllable. Let's start with the first one, which is third to last syllable. And all words in Portuguese stressed on this syllable, third to last, will have a accent mark. Because as we saw before, words with no accent marks, they are either stressed on the next to last, which is the default case, or on the last syllable. So this third to last syllable will always imply an accent mark. Examples: apático, fenômeno, bêbado. Now notice, if I don't have an accent mark here, I will naturally pronounce apatico. But we don't want apatico because we don't say apatico, we say apático, so we need the accent mark there. Same thing with fenômeno. That's the way we say it. Fenômeno, not fenomeno. So without accent mark, we would default to the default, which would be the next to last syllable. Fenomeno. Same thing here. Without the accent mark, bêbado, we would say bebado. We don't want bebado, we want bêbado, and therefore the accent mark. Okay, apático, apathetic, phenomenal, phenomenon, and bêbado, drunk. Yes, bêbado. Then we have next to last syllable. For example, pátria, fácil, relógio. And now we can better understand what is written here. Words with a pronunciation that goes against the stress patterns outlined before. So before we said, or we saw that words ending in diphthongs or words ending with the letter L, they would be stressed on the last syllable. You see? So without an accent mark, this would be pronounced patria. This would be pronounced facil. This would be pronounced relogio. But no, that's not the case. We say patria, not patria. Therefore, the accent mark. We say fácil, not facil. therefore the accent mark. And we say relógio, not relógio. All right, so pátria is kind of homeland, fácil, easy, as in easy to learn Portuguese. Fácil, português é fácil, we all know that. Relógio is clock. The last case, word stressed on the last syllable, will be the reverse logic of next to last syllable. So for example, canapé, I need this accent mark on the E because otherwise I will default to canapé. It's not canapé, it is canapé. Same thing here, francês. Without the circumflex, it would sound frances. Frances. No, no frances. Francês. And by the way, the difference between the acute accent mark and the circumflex, they both tell you where the stress is, but the sound of the acute accent mark is more open than the circumflex. So canapé é francês, ish. So compare these two. É, francês, canapé, é. Again, if you want to dive deeper into the Portuguese sound system, take a look at the link below to Portuguese Sounds, my comprehensive course on Portuguese pronunciation. Now, then we also have here the example Roma. So in this case, we have the tilde, and tilde signals a nasal sound. So it's telling us where the stress is, but it's also telling that will be a nasal vowel sound. So Romain. Can you hear the nasal sound? Romain. Meanings. Canapé, divan, like a daybed kind of thing. Francês, nationality. Francês, French. And Romain is the fruit. Can you guess which fruit is this one? Pomegranate. Yes. Okie dokie. This is word stress in Portuguese in a nutshell. Just a quick recap. We went through two groups, words with no accent marks and words with accent marks. Words in the first group will be stressed either on the next to last or last syllable. Next to last syllable is the default, and then there are some endings that will tell you that they will be stressed on the last syllable. The second group was words with accent marks. And then we saw that these words, they will have the stress on the syllable where the accent mark is. And we also saw that we now have three possibilities, not only the next to last and last syllables, but also the third to last syllable. If you have any questions, just drop me a line in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. And don't forget to give me a like. You know what? Yeah, I deserve it. How do we say deserve in Portuguese? Merecer. Merecer. Can you hear this r sound? Merecer. Not merecer. There's no in the Portuguese sound system. So if you have a tendency to make this sound, you need to let go of it. It will improve your pronunciation big time. Okay, that's all. Fica bem e até breve. Tchau.